Over many years and forms of media, Sonic the Hedgehog has faced almost every type of foe you can think of. Some have pushed him to his absolute limit, while others have failed to make him sweat. Today, we will be breaking down and ranking the top 15 villains in the IDW comics. To begin our list, we must go all the way back to Sonic the Hedgehog issue 3, because coming in at our 15th rank is Ruff the Skunk. Now, Ruff comes in last on the list for numerous reasons. The first time Ruff and his brother appear, Sonic and Knuckles learn that the two had repelled Eggman's forces from Barricade Town, saving the citizens. Since then though, the brothers had taken over and enslaved the locals. Sonic and Knuckles don't stand for this, and engage them in combat, and this is the first time we see what Ruff is capable of, and boy is it pitiful. Ruff is smaller and weaker than his brother Tumble, but both are about equally intelligent, and that's not saying much. Ruff has some abilities that make him competent in battle, such as a smoke screen and a noxious gas. However, when not working in tandem with his brother, these abilities don't do much for him. One highlight for the skunk though would be from issue 2 of Bad Guys. When breaking into one of Eggman's secure facilities, Ruff and Tumble would team up and take down an Egg Rex that was guarding power cores. Besides being faster than his brother and having a few skunk related attacks, Ruff doesn't really have enough going for him. Both he and his brother are used for muscle for jobs and are largely seen by other villains as expendable, and that's why Ruff is the lowest on this list. Which should mean it's no surprise that Tumble is coming in at 14. Just like his brother, Tumble lacks the brain power to be a real threat like some of the other characters further up on this list. Despite that, Tumble is a formidable threat when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. He is so powerful that he was actually able to catch Sonic mid-spin dash. Tumble was even able to exchange blows with Starline while he was using the Tricore. While Ruff and Tumble together have failed often, leading to them being ranked so low on my list, Tumble has proven himself to be more capable than his brother and has even bested foes like Vector when the two skunks found themselves face to face with the Chaotix. With that, Tumble's power gives him the slight edge over his brother. If you've played Sonic Lost World, then number 13 on our list might be familiar to you. Part of the Deadly Six, Zamam is an incredibly powerful foe. Like the rest of the Zeddy, Zamam can manipulate magnetic fields, which allow him to control machines with his mind. While this Zeddy possesses remarkable strength, he is quite dumb. So dumb in fact, that Starline's mind control device worked at peak efficiency when used against him, pleasantly surprising the Doctor. Being slow, gullible, and gluttonous, Zamam's strength is often wasted potential. Even when he had his strength enhanced by a Chaos Emerald, it ended up being pointless as he was easily outsmarted and bested by Amy and Tails. A notable feat of Zamam was when he was able to catch Sonic, albeit with the help of the other Zeddy. However, this moment of victory was short-lived for him, which is why he is ranked so low. An arms dealer in the criminal underworld at one point, and currently a professional Chow trainer, Clutch comes next on our list. This character is rather interesting, as Clutch seeks to once again operate in the underworld by rebuilding his criminal empire by whatever means necessary. Unlike the others on our list so far, his biggest asset is his mind. Clutch may not have any powers, but instead uses a laser cane and intimidation to get his way. Having been a master criminal once before, Clutch is very keen. He was able to detect Espio when he was cloaked, and after being caught, was able to slip away from the Chaotix. Due to his age, Clutch lacks the speed and the strength that he would need to be higher on the list, but despite that, he is still a very capable enemy who I'm sure we will see again soon. The most depressed of the Deadly Six is next on the list. Zor lacks strength when compared to the other Deadly Six, but he is able to make up for his shortcomings when it comes to the energy he has. Zor is able to create shadow clones of himself, which ended up proving useful when he was fighting Silver in Orchardville. Zor is also strong enough to break out of Silver's psychokinetic grasp. Once again, these powers seem to be wasted on Zor. He is easily defeated. See, Zor was distracted by Silver, which allowed Whisper the Wolf to snipe at him from a distance. While Zor does seem to have a lot of energy, he doesn't care enough about Zavik's plans, and only enjoys seeing the suffering of others as well as himself. If he could end up caring about a battle, Zor might one day prove himself to be a bigger threat, but as for now, he ranks low. A common occurring theme right now is that the Zeddy are early on in this list, and the next character is no different. Zaz is more ruthless than the other two of the Deadly Six mentioned already, perhaps due to the abuse he suffered from Zavik. He would command a horde of Zombots to attack helpless villagers in the town of Riverside, and eagerly awaited battling Sonic and Eggman, for whom he had a deep hatred for. Zaz thrives in violence and chaos. He is quite formidable as an opponent. When summoned to Eggman's base, Starline had hoped to use the conch conch to control the Deadly Six, but when the effects had worn off, Zsasz would strike first, causing Starline to lose the conch, and as a result, control of the Zeddy. While in Riverside, Zsasz would encounter Espio, who alone was tasked with retrieving the Chaos Emerald from him. Zsasz was able to sniff him out even though Espio was camouflaged, and tossed him to a horde of infected below. A match between the two ensued, but Espio's skills would prove to be too much of a match for Zsasz. He, however, does appear to have a high level of stamina and fortitude, because after taking a beating from the chameleon, he was still ready to fight, before realizing that Espio had gotten what he came for. Zsasz would later take on Sonic during the Zeddy hunt, and showed a lot of determination to take him down during the fight. Just like the others though, he too would be no match for Sonic, who wore him down. Zsasz isn't particularly skilled in any single area, and despite this, he still has managed to put a lot more effort into battle than Zamam and Sora combined, while proving himself a valuable asset to Zavik. Next up at number 9 is Xena. One of the more powerful of the Zeddy, Xena has demonstrated countless times why she is part of the Deadly Six. Using her super speed, she was able to steal the conch from Starline, which in part caused him and Eggman to retreat. She also has the ability to project red energy tethers, which she used when fighting Cream. Her biggest flaw though is her egotism. She is a very powerful opponent, which has led to her underestimating everyone she comes across. Sonic even points this out. When not being swayed by compliments or underestimating her opponents, she is quite the threat, but due to this, she ranks lower than she'd like to be. Now, before we get any further with the list, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you guys about CoolComics. If you love comics like I do, you've got to check them out. From Sonic to Batman, you can read about a variety of different comics and join in on the discussion. They recently featured my channel on their homepage, so I wanted to thank them here. They have a fast-growing community and they're always chatting about comics, so check the link below, guys. Alright, now back to the list where we have our next villain, Master Zik. Wise beyond his years, Zik once trained Zavik, and now the two work together to bring down Eggman and Sonic. Master Zik has powerful telekinesis, which he uses in tandem with his electromagnetism. He is also a skilled tactician that the rest of his team rely on. When fighting against the Babylon Rogues, Zik held the upper hand in a 3-on-1 battle for a long while before being struck by Jet the Hawk. Even when shaken up, he had a backup plan in store, as he surrounded Jet's allies with an infected horde. The Babylon Rogues would eventually take Zik out by sacrificing themselves to the infected and staying behind, a move that he would not have foreseen. Zik is the second highest ranked of the Deadly Six on this list, and there's a good reason for that. He is shown to be the most composed of the group, but is also just as ruthless. His skills in combat over the years have allowed him to take on multiple foes at once, and he always has a backup plan in place, kind of like the next person on our list, Mimic. This hitman might be the most frightening foe that Sonic and his friends have ever faced. Originally part of the mercenary group, the Diamond Cutters, Mimic and his team would fight against Eggman's forces, though after cutting a deal with Eggman, that would all change. Mimic would lead his team into a trap. Eggman would clear Mimic of all wrongdoings against him, and the two would watch as Mimic's old teammates and friends were slaughtered by shadow androids. There are many things that make Mimic one of the most dangerous characters in the Sonic universe. He is a trained soldier, capable of beating most foes in hand-to-hand combat. Beyond that, he's a skilled tracker that can hunt anyone down, and he's also proficient with Wisp and weaponry. While he is skilled with all of that, the most terrifying thing about Mimic is that he likes to get in close for his kills. Mimic can shapeshift into any form: friends, a neighbor, loved ones, and once he has you tricked, he uses his favorite weapon, his serrated combat knife. This mercenary prefers to work alone and believes that having friends is a weakness, which led to him betraying another team comprised of all villains. Mimic may not be the strongest villain, but his craftiness and wide skill set has made up for it on multiple occasions. Although one of the most recent characters to appear in the IDW comics, Kit the Fennec has proven his place as one of the most powerful villains. Modified and hypnotized by Starline, Kit would be trained to be just like Tails. However, with an evil twist. Kit would be given the power of hydrokinesis and be put through rigorous training in order to master his new abilities. Kit has also shown immense skill when it comes to mechanical engineering by being able to override systems just like Tails. Starline's tampering with Kit's mind has caused tons of of trauma, but despite that, he stays strong as long as his partner Surge is okay. Kit has fought against Tails, and during this battle, we see how powerful he is, being able to control water with ease. However, he is still not close to the level of Tails, as he is easily able to outsmart Kit, draining his water pack, making him useless for the rest of the battle. While he still has a lot of learning to do before he can become stronger, Kit has proven himself among some of the most powerful. Kit's partner in crime comes in above him at number 5. Surge the Tenrex origin is just like Kit's. Once an ordinary person, Surge was taken by Starline and modified with powers that rivaled Sonic's. She too was brainwashed by Starline to the point that her mental state is always teetering. Surge, like Sonic, has super speed and can spin dash, which makes her extremely dangerous. We would see a full display of her powers when she came face to face with the person she hates most, Sonic. She would soon learn that she has a lot more training to go till she reaches his level. The entire fight, Sonic was having fun and joking around as he usually does. This only served to enrage Surge, who tried her hardest to keep up and beat Sonic. The battle would culminate in Surge's defeat as she let her pride get the best of her. While Surge may claim that she is as fast as light, her fight with Sonic proves otherwise. Her speed is still quite impressive though, and makes her one of the most dangerous foes that Sonic has faced. However, her lack of refinement and unstable mental state hinders her full potential. The one responsible for the prior two comes in at number 4. That's right, we're talking about Dr. Starline. Once the biggest devotee to Eggman, Starline would be fascinated by the Doctor's sheer brilliance, though he wouldn't stop with just admiring him. Soon, Starline would fantasize about surpassing Eggman by learning from all his shortcomings. This would become the biggest detriment to Starline. While Starline is very accomplished, having collected all the Chaos Emeralds and studied Eggman vigorously, he believes that he is superior in intellect, which often leads to him being sloppy in what he does, very similar to Xena, who we saw earlier on the list. The difference here is that Starline is a genius, and he does work very hard. He created Surge and Kit, and has made use of the Tricord numerous times in battle to save his life. Starline would meet his fate at the hands of Eggman, the very person he wished to surpass. Having been outsmarted and outmatched, he would end up having a mental breakdown before losing his life. Starline ranks very high, as he is one of the smartest Sonic villains of all time. What he lacked in strength and speed, he made up for in intellect. The last of the Deadly Six on our list comes in at number 3. The leader and the most intimidating of the bunch, Zavik. Being one of the most intelligent and strongest of the Zeti, Zavik has many skills, including stealth, enhanced durability, and fireball projection. He would rule over the other Deadly Six by means of intimidation. Proving he is the most powerful of the six, Zavik would lead an attack on Angel Island while commanding hordes of Zombots. During this battle, Zavik would use the power of a Chaos Emerald to bolster his already impressive power. He would come very close to crushing the remaining survivors of the Metal Virus, only meeting his defeat at the hands of Metal, Silver, and Sonic all working together. Zavik isn't only powerful, as we find out in the bad guy run. He discovers Starline's ploy to double-cross him almost instantly, and allows the Doctor to think he is using Zavik when it is very much the other way around. Zavik is very intelligent and learns from his mistakes, especially when he has the guidance of Zik. This makes him one of the biggest threats, as he is willing to learn about his enemy after being defeated and adapt. That is why Zavik ranks so high. Made in the image of the one he has sworn to destroy, Metal Sonic comes in at number 2 on our list. Eggman's creation is quite possibly the most powerful on this list. Initially in the comics, Metal is in Neo Metal form, and it takes Sonic and help from all of his friends to take him down. But after losing this form upon defeat, Metal Sonic is still very dangerous. He's beaten both heroes and villains alike, such as Starline and Silver. Being immune to the Metal Virus, Metal would have to help Sonic the Hedgehog by taking out Infected and lending his speed to his greatest rival. Having the speed of Sonic makes Metal a huge threat, but he is also much stronger than Sonic. Metal also possesses defensive energy capabilities, using a move known as Black Shield, which protects him from incoming attacks. With years of experience battling Sonic, while also possessing his speed and superior strength, it's no surprise that Metal Sonic is one of the deadliest foes that Sonic has ever faced. Now I'm sure that you aren't surprised at this point that our #1 villain on this list is Dr. Eggman. Being Sonic's arch nemesis for over 30 years, Eggman has proved that he is the most capable when it comes to enemies. Eggman has time and time again proven himself to be the smartest man on the planet. He's teamed up with Sonic to stop the Deadly Six when needed, foiled Starline's plans to overthrow him, and without Eggman, none of these villains on this list would be here. He is the epicenter of evil, and it all leads back to him. He isn't always the most powerful, but that is why Eggman has so many creations at his disposal. This is why Eggman tops my list for the greatest Sonic villain. I also want to give a huge thanks to SaffieTaffie for creating this amazing thumbnail for me. She's a very talented artist and has tons of Sonic art on her Instagram, which is linked below, so please go and check it out, guys. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see a list like this, but for our heroes, please give this video a like, and it will let me know that you guys enjoyed this video and possibly, want to see another. Also, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my list. I'm actually really curious whether you guys would rank these characters in a different order, or maybe switch out a different character or something like that. But I wanted to thank you all for watching and nerding out about Sonic with me. I always have a great time reading your comments and, seeing if you guys agree or disagree with me. But with that being said, peace.